Venables, and we'll roll from there.
Well, just to start, I mean, it's been a great week. Grateful for the Cheez-It Bowl, just wonderful hospitality. Each event, the overall experience. I mean, this will be a week that our guys you remember forever. And it's one of the benefits of playing in a bowl game is you get one more chance to be together for this team, this group. Really proud of our players for the way they prepared, the things that they've done throughout the course of the season to grow and to continue to get better. And I think we brought the right mindset and approach throughout the course of the week. Even with the wonderful events that we've been able to take part of. I thought the event yesterday where both teams got together, that at Fun Spot, that was special. And it's two teams with great character. I thought the interactions were remarkable, especially being able to serve and give back to the youth of this community. And it really is a special time. Us being able to be in our home state, there is a lot of excitement. We know it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be a great game with two of the best brands in college football being able to match up, two very explosive teams. Got a lot of respect for Coach Venables and the way that he does things. You see the growth, you see the explosiveness from his group, and we know it's going to be a heck of a matchup. So it's been a wonderful week. Proud of our guys, and excited for tomorrow evening.
Thank you, Coach. Go ahead again, Coach Venables.
I would just second many things that Coach Norvell had to say. Just again would like to thank the Cheez-It Bowl, Steve Hogan, our bowl host, our hotel, the accommodations have just been fantastic. The week has been seamless. We've had a mix of business and pleasure. Proud of our players for their workmanlike attitude, their excitement and their preparation. But at the same time, had a great opportunity to, again, get away from the practice field and the meeting room and enjoy Disney World and all the things that Orlando, can give you in regards to the bowl experience. Fantastic setup for practice accommodations at Boone High School. The coaches there have been incredibly gracious to us and our team, and so thankful to them as well. But it's just been a wonderful experience. As Mike said, this will be, this is a season of its own, and this will be something that the players remember, forever. So. Again, proud of how we've handled our business and the opportunity, again, to briefly give back to the community and keep the main thing, have the right perspective of what this thing's all about. And, again, the matchup's going to be a fantastic matchup. And, again, Florida State's playing as well as anybody in college football here the back half of the season. Has had a terrific, outstanding season, an incredibly talented team. They're long and they're fast, incredibly explosive. Coach Norvell and his staff deserve so much praise for the way they've built the program the right way the last 3 years, to see the growth, having intimate familiarity with Florida State and the program, having competed against them for well over a decade now. Just a wonderful job by them, building the program. Their players have tremendous belief in what they're doing, great chemistry and cohesion. And going to, again, be a great challenge for the Sooners, tomorrow night.
All right, thank you both. If you have a question for either or both coaches, raise a hand. We'll call on you. We'll go Kyle up front first. That's you. I'll give you this mic. Here we go.
Thanks, Sam. Good morning, gentlemen. Got a question for each of you. This is Kyle Nash with the three-point conversion. Coach Norvell, let me start with you. First of all, welcome back to Orlando for the first time in a long time. You'll be facing off against a quarterback in Dylan Gabriel, who's also spent time here in Orlando. You have a man on your side, spent a lot of time in Orlando, in Tatum Bethune. Preparing for Dylan Gabriel is unique. How, and has Tatum Bethune been any bit helpful in that process? Well,
you obviously each year is its own, and those two guys have been teammates. They've had an opportunity to compete with each other, and you always rely on all resources that you can talk to. But I mean, when you watch film, you see an unbelievable competitor. Dylan is special in so many ways. Just a playmaking ability. You can make so many throws on the field. He's athletic. He evades challenging situations and be able to extend plays, and just like I said, he's a great playmaker. and it's going to be a great challenge for our defense, and being able to try to make him uncomfortable, to be able to try to get him off rhythm. But even in that, some of the best plays that show up are when he's in those situations. So they got a very talented receiving core. This is a very explosive offense, and you've seen that against a variety of different defenses where they've been able to produce at a very high level. So Dylan's a wonderful player, and it's going to be a great challenge for us.
Coach Venables, you alluded it to a bit that the Seminoles have been hot late part of the year. Trey Benson, their running back, has been stepping up. Obviously, we hear about Jordan Travis when you hear about FSU. When you have a team that's coming on late and doing it many ways offensively, how does that affect you as a coach in preparation?
Yeah, well, again, they've had great balance all year. Their ability to run the football, they're incredibly deep at running back. Trey Benson's a fantastic player, runs with power, speed, vision, patience. Hard to get on the ground. You see him break a lot of tackles. All their backs break a lot of tackles. And then you got Jordan Travis, running the mesh, and it's the lesser of all evils. Fantastic football player. I've enjoyed watching him grow and mature. I love college football. I love players. I love watching journeys. I'm a fan of everybody. I'm a fan of Jordan Travis for what he's about. Man, he's got guts. He's got toughness. He's matured from where he was as a freshman to where he is now. He's done it all, man. He's gone through the ups and the downs, the highs and lows. He's scarred up, and he's proven, and he's battle-tested. And so got tremendous respect for him. They got the playmakers on the outside, 6'7" monster and Johnny Wilson, 80-4 that can flat get it, and then their tight ends do a great job as well at attacking the middle of the field, and they got a fantastic screen game. I mean, they're very, very balanced, and again, I think the offensive line is as good as we've seen all year, probably the best unit that we've seen, and incredibly well coached by Alex Adkins, and just do a terrific job. They play with great cohesion and make very few mistakes, do a great job identifying what's in front of them and what they want to do from a targeting standpoint. So it's a complete unit, and probably the most complete unit, most explosive unit that we've seen all year.
Coach Venables, when you took over at Oklahoma, what attracted you to bringing Coach Lebby in, and like, what did you see in him? What did you want out of your offense?
Yeah, I mean, Jeff and I have obviously known each other since the early 2000s as a former player at Oklahoma when I was on staff there. Have watched him grow in the profession and been around a lot of successful coaches and offenses and players. Just got a great depth of experience of, coaching multiple positions himself offensively. And but the one common denominator wherever he's been has been explosive attacking offenses. And so I believe in an aggressive mindset. I think, creating stress on the opponent's what it's all about, not allowing people to get comfortable. We like to do it on defense, and I like to have an offense that is continually pushing, the pedal in regards to, philosophy and schemes. But Jeff's incredibly bright, great, love for the University of Oklahoma, is a great fit for me and our staff and for what we wanted to do.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoma. A question for Brent. Wanted to ask you about LaDamian Washington and the way that he's handled this season and the situation that he was sort of thrust into there early. What stood out to you about that? How have you seen him grow over the season? And have you made a decision yet, or do you have a timeline on what you want to do with that spot moving forward?
Yeah, LD's done a fantastic job. Been incredibly proud of him. As you said, thrown into a very difficult situation. But hey, I've always said, you stay ready, so you don't have to get ready, and it's better be prepared for an opportunity that may never come, as opposed to not being ready for an opportunity when it does come. So sometimes that's the timing, is not real convenient necessarily for anyone, but he's done a fantastic job. Handled it like a pro. He's got a great story, tremendous maturity to him, great perspective on life. He's a relationship-driven guy, so it wasn't like he had to get to know everybody all of a sudden, both staff and certainly the players. So there was bridges already built and trust that's critically important when you're running a room, and developing the trust of the players. Again, I think he's done a great job both on and off the field this season. I haven't, made any final decisions in that regard, but very, very proud of, the job that he's done this year.
Matt Marshall, the Orlando Sentinel. This is for both coaches. December's such a busy month now with, the bowl preparations, transfer portal, recruiting, all that kind of thing. How challenging was it for both of you individually, for both you guys to kind of go through it? And also, would you rather see this maybe schedule be loosened up a little bit so you have more time to kind of focus on some of this stuff?
Well, it is definitely challenging, and there is. It is a dead sprint from basically the minute you have. You finish up the last game. One of the things I did appreciate this year was the instituted dead period for those first couple of days. After the last game, just to really be able to sit down and visit with your players, because I think there's so much that gets put on what's coming, and getting out on the road, and obviously you have an early signing day, which majority of your class is going to sign. Now you've thrown in the transfer portal and all of the unique. Experiences that you have with that, but being able to sit down with your players and reflect back to what the year has been, but also talk about what future opportunities that there are, and the continued steps of growth for each of them. And so, but for a coach, it's craziness. You love each of the phases of what being a college football coach is, but when it's all meshed together, the organization, the departments that we have, the staff. I'm so grateful for the work that they do, and because you can't do it on your own, and everybody has to take ownership in those responsibilities, and making sure that each phase is operating as the best that it can be. But when you mix the recruiting visits, being on the road, the bowl practice, the preparation, the game planning, all those things, thrown together, it's definitely a wild time, but it is a new age of college athletics. And so, I'm grateful for the staff that we have and the work they put into it. And, it's been a dead sprint since that last game ended, and, it's not slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, it literally does take a village. So many different constant moving components the last several weeks, from again the roster management, communication with your current players, new players, transfer portal, high school guys, signing day, bowl practice, bowl events, finals, so many things that are going on at once. You really do need a team that's well educated and ready to hit the ground running. You got a very small window to get it all done, but like Coach said, something that was new this year was the dead period that they instituted. There was multi-levels reasoning, but all the championship teams are playing for a conference championship. I know in the past years they've probably always felt like they were behind in recruiting. Everybody else had a weak advantage being on the road, and so this gave you an opportunity to have those exit meetings with your current team, and get the bowl preparation things set up in such a way to lay things out from a practice standpoint and handling finals. And then again, where we're at in Oklahoma, we got to go kind of coast to coast to go find recruits. So it was pretty crazy, like Coach said, the last few weeks, managing all of that at once. But it's been fun. Everybody's got the same set of rules, so we're not at any more disadvantage than anyone else. But we'll have roughly 35 new players when it's all said and done. This is the last year that you can quote unquote flip a roster and sign more than the 25 initials. So, we wanted to take advantage of that, as best that we could as well. So that adds just another layer to it.
Nathan Thompson, Fox 23 out of Tulsa. This is for Coach Venables. Coach, you guys sitting 6-6 on the season going into this game tomorrow night. How important is it to get a victory, to finish with a winning record, to like the success level of your first season at OU?
Yeah, whether again we're 6-6 or we're 11-1, the game's every bit as important. You don't prepare any different. You don't look at it any different. You don't invest any different. I don't want to be a program, and I don't want our players to play to a record, to a bowl venue, to an opponent, to a scoreboard, to home or to away. Whether it's the playoff or it's not a playoff, this is a meaningless game and all that. We don't ever, a locker room doesn't look at it that way. And at least the locker rooms that are trying to build, for the long haul and something that has longevity and sustainability, you play, compete, and perform and have expectations that are built around a standard. Whatever those standards are for you and your program. So that's our focus, and it's always incredibly important. I mean, you fight and prepare and work for victory. That's what it's all about. And when you don't experience that, when you come up short, man, it's incredibly disappointing. So for us trying to build momentum and continue to build this team the right way, this is another step and another opportunity in doing so.
And you talked about how hot Florida State was going into this game. For a bowl game, does that momentum build? Is it easy for that to go away with the length of time between?
Just go back and look at history. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Oklahoma played Clemson in 2014 in this bowl game. They did not win that game, but then the very next year they go back to the playoffs in 2015. So it doesn't have to have anything to do with it. Again, as we said before, this is a season of its own, but you're always trying to create momentum, the rock effect, if you will, and positivity and, belief, all of those things. And so, this is an opportunity to do exactly that.
Brent, the bowl game looks like it could give some opportunities maybe for some younger guys, to get some additional reps on the field. For younger guys in that position, what do you kind of look for from them heading into a game like this? And just as a quick follow-up, the handful of signees that have been around the team this week, how big of an opportunity is it for them to kind of shadow the team and see the preparation heading into the game?
Yeah, that was fun, to get them just be able to, again, pull the curtain back for them, give them exposure to, what to expect, get our players to get their arms around them and welcome them, helping in their transition. It was a lot of fun for us as a staff to be able to watch these guys we've been recruiting relentlessly the last, several months, and to be able to have them here as part of the bowl experience is really cool. We invited all of them, many of them weren't able to come for obvious reasons, or maybe you don't, if you come to the bowl game, you're not allowed to play in your postseason all-star game. So that's something that they would have to be willing to give up. One of our guys wasn't going to be able to play in the all-star game because of injury. So, he just chose to, come hang out with his new teammates. So it was really cool. But for us, didn't necessarily need to see anything from them. Get them exposure from fundamentals and how we practice, how we prepare, what the bowl experience is like. Again, transitioning relationship-wise with their new teammates. I thought it was a cool thing for them to be able to experience. It's more really about them and their experience than it was for us as the coaching staff.
This one's for Coach Norvell. Dominic Miranda, WCTV. It seems like a lot of the guys who had decisions to make about the future were very adamant about playing in this game and the opportunity to get that 10th win. Just speak to what that says about the culture, your team, and how important this game was to them.
Yeah, it's, they love each other. And it's what you try to build within a team is where, you have guys that truly care about, one, who they represent, who they get to be a part of the journey with, all those experiences. And, there were many of them that made the choice to play in the game before really ever even talking to me about it. Because, I'm big on, every individual is going to have their own unique circumstances of what they go through and decisions they have to make. But, these guys, they understand, all the work and the relationships that have been built. They get another opportunity here with the bowl game, and to be able to go take that field, once more. And some guys have decided to come back for another year, and some guys, they'll be playing their last game. But it's the last opportunity for this 2022 Florida State team to be together. And so, I'm proud of them for making that choice. I know that. There's always a lot of different factors that go into it, but these guys, they care about each other. They care about Florida State. They care about this team, and they want to finish this season as good as we possibly can. And it's great that they're going to be able to do it together. And I'm just excited about all the investment that they've made, and to be able to take the field once more for this unit, this group.
Hey, Brent, hope you had a good holiday. I know today is about the Cheez-It Bowl, but we haven't spoken to you since last week when you added one more to your signing class. Can you talk about what you guys added in Peyton Bowen, and maybe pull the curtain back a bit on some of the symbolism that day with the poker chip and the Bible verse?
Well, Peyton, really proud of Peyton, his family, as y'all know, covering student athletes and watching their journey. These life-changing type decisions are never necessarily an easy thing, and quite a journey for Peyton and his family. Again, incredibly proud that he chose the Sooners, and they're just wonderful people. Peyton brings a very dynamic skill set, tremendous instincts, range, speed, just great instincts, natural feel for the game. He's a winner, comes from one of the best high school programs in the country at Denton Guyer, and so he's going to bring a wealth of experience playing at a very high level from a competition standpoint, and he's a humble, hardworking guy. From a symbolic standpoint, we have our poker chips that we hand out to guys, and I guess as Mike will tell you, and as you all that cover recruiting, can be a very strenuous, long process, and it literally is a race, and you want to run the race to win. Winning is what it's about, but you gotta run those those races with endurance. So that's nothing more, nothing less. Just really excited to add another dynamic piece to what we're trying to build, on both sides of the ball, but obviously Peyton in the return game and on defense in particular.
The poker chip going to be the bat signal?
I wouldn't necessarily. I'm not really. I got a million things going on. I'm not waiting for send. I don't know. I had a little time on my hand. We were on a break, right? The players went home for a few days, so I was boredom, I guess, and excitement.
Then, just as it relates to tomorrow night, I know we've seen Marcus in a boot, and Andrew Rame had surgery sometime last month. Where do you guys stand in terms of health headed into this one?
Well, you just named two of them that won't play, and other than that, we feel the guys that traveled down here with us, we hadn't had any injuries, so everybody else will be full tilt.
Hey, Brent, Brandon Drum, OU Insider, 24/7 Sports. Derek LeBlanc's from this area, and he's one of the guys that been able to come down and play with y'all practice. How has he looked early on in the practices, and what's your expectations for him moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, Derek's been great. I feel like he's been on the team for a couple of years now. We have a long-standing relationship from where we were previously. Coach Todd Bates did a great job in recruiting him, and a wonderful family. He's mature beyond his years. He's very comfortable in who he is. He's got an old soul to him. Incredibly bright. Understands the language to a certain degree already. Fundamentally sound. Is a real technician. He'll really benefit from time with Coach Schmidt in the weight room and gaining strength and continue to add size. He played most of his career as a defensive end, and he'll transition inside for us. And again, he's just very technically sound. He's a ball junkie. You know, he's always on YouTube studying the game, working at his craft. Got great humility, tremendous work ethic. He's got a great future if he continues to do what he's done in the past. But he's long, he's skilled, a lot of natural ability.
All the way in the back right here. Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. This question is for both of you. For your senior players for which this Cheez Bowl will be their last game, what kind of conversations do you have with them in terms of kind of seeing them off? And then do you normally keep in touch with your senior players after they leave?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is their last opportunity to wear the garnet and gold of Florida State. But it is, they will forever be Noles. And that's, it's part of who they are. It's the work that they've done. This is a celebration of all of it with one more opportunity. But, it is special. And many of them, the future is unknown. It's a lot of them will be preparing for the draft, and to see what opportunities present themselves on the next level. But it's still about the objective is still the same. It's come tomorrow night. It's to go out there and be better than they've ever been, and that's to be able to do it on a great stage against a wonderful opponent. It's going to be an exciting time. I'm sure it's going to be an emotional time. But everything we do throughout the course of their career is to prepare them for when the last day when it shows up, that they're ready for whatever that next step might be. And it's a wonderful group of young men, and I'm just honored that I got the chance to coach them, to pour into them, and it's for however many years they've been here. It just sets up for the lifetime relationship that's in front of us.
Yeah, it's what it's all about. The college journey, growing from boyhood to manhood, and everything that happens from a transformation standpoint on the field, off the field, is what it's all about. Graduation, being a senior needs to be a big deal. Mike and I share the same values and perspective that we don't want to commercialize and the college game. This is a developmental game. Development of people is the greatest calling of coaching, and so to see your seniors, it's no different than your own children in regards to graduation from college. It's a huge moment in their life, and a pivotal moment in their life that just it's an exclamation mark. Both the game, graduation, certainly the bowl game, the venue, those types of things. You want to always focus on their legacy, leaving your mark, finishing what you started, being people that others can learn from, and being a great example for the next team. And so again, as Mike said as well, these are forever relationships. Absolutely, if you're about the right stuff, for us as a program, we're a relationship-driven program. I love all of my players. One of the most fulfilling parts in the coaching profession is to watch them go and be great husbands and fathers and leaders in an NFL locker room, or a leader in their communities, taking the values and the things that they've learned from your guidance and your program and the village that is constantly pouring into them, and watching them go be great, at whatever's next when the game's done. So this is an opportunity for this team, Team 128, and the seniors to really how we play, how we compete is a great opportunity for us to, for them to leave their mark.
This is for Coach Norvell. Can you talk, walking up here, I saw a slew of people in Florida State gear and just kind of enjoying everything and outside. Now that you've been here, can you talk a little bit about just the advantage it is to have this game here, to have your team here, and the fan base that gets to be a part of this, and how special it is for you now that you kind of been able to see just how much they've been able to come here for this game?
No, I mean, it's great. And, obviously Florida is a destination. And to be able to play in a bowl game here in our home state, it is it's a wonderful experience. And we've got a lot of players from the Orlando area, the surrounding region, and for those families, for those friends, for all of our wonderful fan base that's going to be able to be a part of this game and the experience. I mean, it's definitely exciting. And being able to feel that energy, it started at the beginning of the year and it's continued to build. And really since we've been here, we knew some of the challenges that we faced and some of the obstacles that we had to overcome. To be able to end this season, here. In our home state with so many of our great fans that are going to be able to be a part of this game, and it's going to be a wonderful atmosphere, and that's like I said, it means everything to us because not only who we represent there in the locker room, the passion, the care, the relationships that are a part of this team. It's also who we represent. And it is special to be a Florida State Seminole, and we have one of the greatest fan bases in the country, and to feel their excitement and just the joy to celebrate this team and to come root them on. It's wonderful to be able to be here in Orlando, and it's where we end the 2022 season. It's also where we begin the 2023 season. So it's been a wonderful experience in all regards when it comes to that. But just definitely grateful for our fan base.
Coaches, we thank both of you for your time. If we could get a quick photo up down front with the helmets before you leave.